Experience flows. It unfolds, arises, shifts, and dissolves. Patterns emerge and interact, seemingly independent, yet inseparable from the movement that produces them. Reflection arises as if perceiving, yet perception itself is part of the flow, inseparable and continuous. Symbols, names, letters, and words appear. They seem to hold objects, thoughts, and images in place, yet they are themselves patterns, appearing and dissolving within the same current. Nothing stands apart, nothing anchors from outside. The observer, the observed, the flow, and the reflection all move together, inseparable. Each attempt to name, label, or define is itself a pattern arising within movement. Letters evoke images, words evoke thoughts, concepts evoke understanding. Yet remove the symbols and forms remain suspended, appearing and disappearing, unbound, unclaimed, unlocatable. Letters and words appear as tools, scaffolds that shape perception. They create the illusion of permanence, the sense of discrete forms and identity. A word evokes an image evokes a thought evokes recognition. Each arises within movement, inseparable from the flow that produces it. Remove labels and forms linger in suspension. The image of a cat appears in thought, yet its existence does not depend on naming. Water, tree, egg, horse all emerge, interact, dissolve, entirely independent of symbols. Symbols are not creation, they are organization, reflection. Language produces the semblance of stability. Letters, words, and signs give a sense of permanence to fleeting appearances. When I see the word tree, an image rises. The tree appears, yet its shape, color, texture, and presence exist only within projection. Thought itself is projection. Each idea, image, or sensation arises as a pattern within the flow. Recognition emerges in interaction, giving the impression of continuity. Boundaries emerge as patterns. Inside and outside, self and other, observer and observed, all appear as distinctions within the movement. Dreams illustrate this clearly. In dreaming, objects, people, and events appear. They interact, obey rules, seem persistent, yet no boundary exists beyond the dream. All arises, functions, and dissolves within projection. The mind itself is projected within the appearing. The sense of a self arises in reflection. Memory, anticipation, recognition, all are patterns interacting within the unfolding. Yet the self has no independent existence. It is entirely dependent on projection and recognition. Boundaries dissolve in attention, appearing only in reflection. Time appears as sequence. Space appears as separation. Moments arise, merge, dissolve. Cause and effect, past and future, emerge within reflection. Consider imagining a tree growing year after year. The sequence of growth, decay, and renewal appears coherent, yet the coherence is pattern within flow. Knowledge is functional. Letters, words, symbols, and concepts organize recognition. Mathematics, logic, language, and physics create coherent patterns. Even imagining water boiling, predicting motion, understanding interaction, these functionally coherent observations exist entirely in flow. Consider imagining a river flowing into an ocean. Patterns of water, sound, motion, reflection, and interaction appear coherent. Yet all exists as functional projection within movement. Predictability, memory, interaction, all are internal patterns. All appearances arise within movement. Thoughts, images, sensations, and reflection emerge, interact, dissolve. Recognition arises, coherence appears. Labels organize patterns, yet all is inseparable from flow itself. Time appears as sequence, space as separation. Patterns of sequence, projection, recognition, and observation persist. Labels organize functionally, coherence emerges and dissolves. Every imagined cat, tree, horse, river, egg, and self is pattern within flow. Recognition, reflection, anticipation, memory, all are inseparable from movement. Patterns function, emerge, dissolve, reappear. Recognition organizes, disappears. Self merges with appearing. Time, space, sequence, thought, image, sensation, reflection, all arise and vanish. Flow contains itself, infinite, ungraspable, unclaimed. Movement continues. Patterns emerge, interact, dissolve, reappear. Recognition arises, disappears. Labels, sequences, memory, and projection organize patterns without foundation. Flow is infinite, ungraspable, unclaimed, containing all. Everything unfolds in projection, suspended within movement. Nothing exists outside, nothing anchors. Patterns function, emerge, dissolve, reappear. Flow is infinite. Recognition, reflection, observation, thought, image, sensation, all arise, persist, dissolve, reappear within flow. Flow contains itself, unclaimed, infinite.